Hey, y'all. Welcome to the podcast. I am excited to be here for this episode. It's been a little bit of a break since my last episode. And this episode is going to kind of explain some of what's been going on. So, I have been, I realized recently that I have been in a season of wandering. Call it my wander years, because I'm sliding into year two kind of being in this space that is very personal, where I am literally rejecting responsibility and at the same time standing taller in uh, the anointing, for lack of a better word. I'm not trying to be churchy, but standing taller in the anointing or the purpose that is attached to my life, which brings its own set of responsibility, and really just weaving back and forth in between um, saying no to obligations that are coming from outside spaces, people, places, and things, while at the same time saying yes to responsibilities that are attached to purpose. And so I am learning to lean all the way into it. And it's an interesting space. When I say wandering, I'm not even talking about the aimless, just kind of drifting back and forth. The inflatable thing with the long arms that's usually at the car dealerships. Not that, but I'm talking about an intense journey of self discovery and healing that is very profound and very personal. And I was thinking about one of the earliest times where I was in a season like this, where I was experiencing a wander years in a different version, an earlier time in my life. And I remembered getting on the bus, from the recruiting station, and with the duffel bag, and leaving the only home I had ever known to go in the military. And I was being guided purely by a vision, something that I believed was possible for me, but I actually didn't know if that vision was going to be made real. But I knew I couldn't not take those steps. And so I've been just thinking about how that day getting on that bus wasn't really the beginning, because I had been doing a lot of inner work that led me to take that step. So the taking of the step was me beginning to align my actions with the revelations that I was already experiencing at the time. So in this episode, I want to share some takeaways or some tips. If you are listening to me and you feel like you might be in your wander years too, let's talk about some things. Let's get into it. Hey, hey, welcome to Confident Women Glow. I'm Mo James, your confidence coach and guide on this journey of self-discovery, self-trust, and self-expression. I believe confidence is more than a mindset. It is a practice. It's about showing up boldly, even when life feels messy, and owning your journey every step of the way. So whether you are in your car, at your desk, or just taking a breath between responsibilities, thank you for letting me speak into your day. Let's get into the episode. Can we take a moment to talk about reflection and growth? I know this journey of self-discovery, self-trust, and self-expression isn't always easy, but having the right tools makes all the difference. And that's why I created the Inner Strength Journal. This isn't just another journal. It's a space for you to connect with your thoughts, honor your emotions, and design your masterpiece life
one page at a time. Each prompt in this journal is carefully crafted to help you dig deeper into what matters most to you, to build your confidence, and to take aligned action. So, if you're ready to carve out intentional time for yourself and start designing a life that feels true to who you are, grab your copy of the Inner Strength Journal today. Head over to innerstrengthjournal.com to order yours now. Your journey deserves this space.
So I know for me, being in your wander years, being in a season, it might not be years, but at least in a season of wandering, brings a call to explore. Like you get, it's like a spark or an urge that comes from within to explore and not just explore the world, but explore within yourself. I think this exploration allows room for you to discover your needs, your passions, your desires, your wants, all of those parts of yourself that need healing still, or that are requiring understanding, or just to be made known to you. And I think it's this freedom that is the first step toward untangling yourself from past hurt, harm, pressure, obligation, mistakes, all of those things that have kind of stifled you or boxed you in. It gives you the space in the exploration. You give yourself the space to untangle yourself from those things. I think in these quiet moments of wandering, being away from the noise of your life, because we all have demands and responsibilities and obligations that make our lives feel really noisy. And that makes it hard to hear yourself. And so for me, definitely, I've wanted to have more time to reflect. I have intentionally designed things in my life so that I have quiet time or do nothing time to reflect. I have to tell you, my inner strength journal hasn't really left my side in the past couple of months. I took it with me on a business trip. It's usually in my purse when I leave the house, and then it's on my nightstand before I go to bed. I've just been in it and just been hearing more. I feel like self-reflection is a chance to put a mirror up for what's going on inside. And if you're willing, if you have the courage, you can learn new truths about yourself that being so busy and life being so loud hasn't given you an opportunity to discover. And so I think sometimes we have to get quiet so we can hear, right? Like when you're trying to hear something really profound, you have to get really quiet. And it's in these moments of silence that there's there be there's room to understand yourself in new ways for the journey that you're on. Another thing I think about being in your wander years is that you get pushed into the unknown. Again, when I first got on that bus, when I took that first flight, when I up until this most recent move, my family's move back to the East Coast, like it required a commitment to being open to the unknown of the journey. And this could show up as a joy or something beautiful, but it could also be something hard or something challenging. Saying yes to the journey means saying yes to all of it. And wandering, saying yes to the wandering requires that as well. I feel like life is always trying to teach us stuff. And when you are healing and rediscovering and finding your courage, those all of those experiences, the beautiful ones and the ones that put you on a struggle bus, they all teach you new resilience. They show you who you are. They lead you to new discoveries and they help you, I believe, discover yourself, get to know yourself. They help you tap into new to pieces of your identity that you probably don't know exist. And that's a beautiful takeaway, that comes from just navigating this journey, just navigating the wandering. Um, I used to tell myself that I wasn't an outsidey kind of person, right? And I've realized that I really didn't have the space to be outside in my younger years growing up. And so to find myself now choosing to go for a walk almost every day, I'm out there in the rain, I'm out there when it's cold, I got layers on. Like, really? Is this who I am? I might as well be the mailman. Rain, sleet, snow, cold, whatever. I'm out there walking outside, something that I never thought I would be doing. Like on the days that I have been forced to work out indoors, to get on the treadmill, to get on the elliptical, like I'm kind of in a bad mood because I want to be outside. And that is so new to me. That is so, that used to be foreign to me. And now I'm like, this is who I am. And it's exciting. Like I'm geeking out just to discover this part of me that I didn't know was there. Um, Again, just a beautiful thing. I think tapping into nature, tuning into nature. People talk about, getting grounded in nature, you know, uh, getting exposed to nature. I know you might be listening to this and thinking that those people are just talking, but I will tell you that if you have found yourself really wrapped up in the circumstances that are in your immediate life, if you give yourself some time to be outside, looking at the sky, looking at trees, hearing the birds, hearing the squirrels, hearing the whatever, seeing the whatever, it will give you so much perspective because you will be reminded of how vast and expansive the world is and your place in it. And it will, I believe, will give you an opportunity to see the challenges that you're experiencing in a new way, and it'll ground you and help you figure things out for yourself. If you're listening to me right now and you suspect you're in a season of wandering, you're in your wandering years, I want you to know that it doesn't mean this being in this space where it's the old thing is gone, the new thing isn't here, it's a door is closed, but another door hasn't opened yet. Um, it, Being in this space doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. And so I hope that this will be something like an encouragement to you to um, to keep going, to not let the voice of self doubt tell you that the safer choice is to go back to what you have left. Being in a season of wandering doesn't mean you're off track. I actually believe it's a sign that you are getting in alignment because life has already been showing you some things and you are recognizing what life is showing you. You're not pretending you don't see and hear what life is trying to show you. And you've decided that I have to figure this out. I have to discover and I that means I have to step away from what I know and be willing to step into something that is unknown. When I think about the woman I was 10, 15 years ago, I would not be able to function at this level of my life as her because that woman, that version of me would be self sabotaging. She would be feeling inadequate. She would be feeling undeserving. She would feel like she is out of place in her own life. And so I know that every experience between that version of me and this version was necessary. And so if you are listening to me and you are struggling, you're wrestling with the parts of you that life is telling you you have to release because those parts are already expired. And you are afraid to let those expired things go because you don't yet have something to replace them. I want to encourage you to trust yourself to release the expired things and be prepared to receive what will be new, what will be unfamiliar at first. And I also believe will be the very thing you need in the coming season of your life. I hope this conversation gives you room to give yourself permission to wander. I hope this conversation gives you the encouragement to pursue what you believe you deserve. I hope this conversation gives you the boost that you were looking for to expand, to become, to evolve, to transform, to all the things that that little tiny mustard seed of a vision is daring you to believe is possible in your life. And so that is what I wanted to share with you all in this episode. Let me know. I want to hear your thoughts about this one. I want to continue the conversation. If you are a member of Glow Circle, we'll be talking about this in an upcoming live session. If you are connected with us on social, I want to hear. Drop me a note, send me an email, let me know what you think, especially if you are listening to this as a woman who is in your wander years. I, again, I hope that you hear the intention with which this episode was created. And I hope, again, you will step into a deeper level of trust of you and have your own back as you wander.
Look at you listening all the way through to the end. Thank you. If this episode stirred something in you, take a moment today to check in with yourself and ask, what do I know is true for me right now? And if the podcast has been a supportive voice in your week, I'd love it if you left a rating or a review. It helps more women like you find this space. And remember, when you need a gentle nudge back to yourself, you don't have to figure it all out alone. There are resources that can help, and I hope you'll find them here. Until next time, keep glowing, and remember, The safe bet is always you.